The notebook that writes back. It was supposed to be just an ordinary notebook, plain black cover. No title, no lines, just blank pages. Ellie found it at a thrift shop downtown, tucked between cookbooks and old photo albums, its cover dusty but strangely untouched. There was no price tag, and the old woman at the counter didn't seem to remember putting it out. Must have slipped in with the donations, she muttered, before waving Ellie off with a shrug. Take it if you want. Free. That night, Ellie sat at her desk, flipping through the pages. All blank, smooth, cream-colored paper. Something about it felt inviting. She hadn't written a journal since high school, but something compelled her to start. Maybe it was the quiet loneliness of her new apartment, or maybe it was just boredom. Either way, she picked up a pen and began to write. Today felt heavy. I don't know why. Like something's watching me. She closed the notebook and went to bed. The next morning, it was still sitting on her desk. But when she opened it, her breath caught in her throat. Below her own neat handwriting was a second line written in a different style. Scratchy, uneven. You're right, I was. Ellie stared at the words for a long time, heart pounding. She lived alone. She had no guests. No one else had the key. She checked the windows, locked, doors, bolted. Her first instinct was that someone had broken in. She set up her phone camera that night, pointed straight at the notebook, and tried to forget it. The next morning, she reviewed the footage. Nothing moved. No one came in. But when she opened the notebook again, another line had been added. Why don't you believe me? Ellie dropped the book. Her hands trembled as she backed away. It didn't make sense. None of it made sense. Was it a prank? A trick? Some kind of mind game? But deep down, something colder began to settle in her bones. This wasn't a joke. Whatever was writing back, it was real, and it knew her. Still, she couldn't stop. Curiosity became obsession. Every night, she wrote a question. Every morning, it answered, What are you? Someone forgotten. Why me? Because you saw me. Where are you now? Behind you. That one nearly broke her. She didn't sleep for 2 days. Refused to enter her bedroom unless every light was on. The notebook sat untouched on the desk, but she could feel it calling to her, like it was humming beneath the surface of her thoughts. Finally, she gave in. One last question. What do you want from me? This time, the answer didn't appear in the morning. Not that day, not the next, just silence, empty pages. She thought it was over until the whispers started. They came at night just as she was falling asleep soft, like someone speaking through the walls. They repeated her name. Sometimes they laughed. Sometimes they wept. The lights would flicker. Her mirrors would fog. Her phone screen would glitch, showing flashes of a face that wasn't hers. Desperate, Ellie tried to burn the notebook. She took it out behind her apartment building, doused it in lighter fluid, and struck a match. But the flame died the moment it touched the cover. No smoke, no ash. Just that same pristine black surface, cool and untouched. The next morning, the notebook was back on her desk. A new message written in blood-red ink. You don't get to leave. Ellie stopped writing after that. She locked the notebook away in a drawer, taped it shut, shoved it under piles of boxes in her closet. But it didn't matter. The messages kept appearing. On her bathroom mirror, in condensation on her windows, carved faintly into her wooden floorboards. The last entry in the notebook wasn't in her handwriting. If you're reading this, it's already chosen you. And below it, an ink that seemed to crawl as she watched. Start writing. It's lonely,